was a common sight in the 80s and 90s. Not quite as frequent since, but it's back. Playoff football in the Bay Area here at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the New Orleans Saints and the San Francisco 49ers. One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. Powers through him. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And this is 3rd down.
Looking to throw. Escaping the pressure right. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath. Maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Raheem Mostert. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Lance.
Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Lance, a handoff here to Mostert. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll run right side with Mostert. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complementary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Running on first down is Mostert, but he can only manage a yard, and that's about it before he's tackled.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
And now they'll throw with Lance. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they can't bring him down. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 24-yard line.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On the handoff, this is Mostert. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the right hash, this from 33. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. So our initial drive of the night ends in 3 points. Maybe not exactly what this home crowd wanted, but they'll take the early lead.
They will take it. You're exactly right. Everybody wants a touchdown. But in this case, good opening drive, put points on the board. And a lot of coaches do believe the first team to score in the game, statistically, often ends up the winner.
The
Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point... game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. They'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he's got room. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs, even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. Oh, good move. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Now it's the backup Winston. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
Open space inside the 10. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, a 22-yard scamper. And the Saints have taken the lead. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. Here's Lance to throw it.
This one caught by Kittle. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable third down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. From the gun, a run with Mostert.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the Saints.
Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. Second down, here's Mostert again.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Lance looking to throw it. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Santos' kick is up and through, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Winston.
Going back to the same well, it's Hockenson again.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, You see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Jameis again. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
I like what they did there because many of the deep throws we see in the course of a game come to the outside, the perimeter of the field. In this case, they used a slot receiver to run deep downfield and tried to connect that way. Unsuccessful in that attempt, but I like what they were doing.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To throw is Winston. And he comes back with 1 complete. And he will have a first down here as they get into field goal range, down just shy of the 20.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
First down, Winston. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. To the air again with Winston. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Jameis to throw it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And Lutz's kick is good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the 2 teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
At their own 25-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive as they take over here with 11 seconds remaining. And they fake the handoff. Now Lance. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. A final shot before half for Lance. Going for the deep ball. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here's Jonathan Coachman.
Both these teams, no doubt, making their final adjustments as we speak. Which of these two teams is going to advance to the NFC title game next Sunday? To find out, let's get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And, Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest. But now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering, how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now? Because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give them a little jolt of confidence moving forward.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
The Lance going to throw. Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Paulson and Devo.
And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Winston to give. It's Kamara.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Coming up on 2nd and 7.
They'll try to throw now. Winston. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown! A 22-yard touchdown ground. And the Saints add on to their lead.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Lutz with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On play action, Lance.
Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender. From there, he doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Makes the score Saints 24, 49ers 6. Will Lutz to kick off 41.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right?
Yeah. Lance's throw complete here to Ayuk.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Lance. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Lutz good on the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Flushed out right. This will be caught. It's Samuel. Sheds off the tackle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
On 1st down, Lance.
He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted.
picked off by Marcus Williams. And the Saints are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, defense, let's go.
Play action now. Winston. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. 67 yards. And the Saints continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Lutz with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On 2nd and 9, Lance. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a 1st down.
From midfield, here's Lance. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. The 20, 10, 5, and he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why. And
they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl.
And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And now here's another interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Saints will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 83 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Off the play fake, Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. Well, when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Lance. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And the Saints are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They have all but booked their ticket to the NFC Championship game next weekend, and they'll look to finish things off here now in this 4th quarter. He's going to loft one deep left side here, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough
rush coming, and he's taken down. Javon Kinlaw busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
He's going to let it go again. He's got a man, complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big play that time through the air. 37 yards. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. Running right through him. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
On play action, Winston. And it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11, and he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. It certainly has not been the outing that they envisioned on their home turf in the divisional round of the playoffs, and they have been pushed around, and now their backs against the wall.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big connection on that one. 32 yards.
Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football. That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Lance. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Steps away to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Again, it's Lance.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
They'll try to run it in, going option right. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
At the Saints' 13-yard line.
On 2nd and goal, Lance eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby.
And the Saints are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing, Winston. He's going to take another shot here. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A big-time play there for New Orleans.
Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, Most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. 2nd and goal from the 1. Winston here to throw. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Well, after their wild card round game last week, you and I said, wow, they played pretty well. Maybe they got a shot at keeping this one close. They've done more than keep this one close.
Yeah, they've made quite a statement, haven't they? And I don't know if it was the week off that hurt this defense, but they've been flat from the get-go, and that's always a coach's fear. Okay, you earn the open week, but you wonder how they'll respond with that extra time off.
It seems like they've been running uphill all game. No return for Ayuk. That'll be a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Now a 2nd down and 6. To throw, it's Lance. And Shark calls it in. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Throwing on 1st down is Lance. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, 45 yards. And the Niners are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. Santos able to tack on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation.
And, oh, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 27. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
And got his man complete. So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship. And do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready, because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.